Okay, I just wanted to give an update on the van. The inside of the screen door, I told you I wanted to replace this upper with something a little nicer. So this is what I originally had up there, just a plywood. And so what I have up here, I 3D printed these parts, and it's just held onto the door with click lock tape. These parts here, I used my original wood, this here, as my template to build a thicker one. So the thicker one is about this thick, and then this thin one here. And the way that it fits in is this piece slides down inside the door in the groove in the back of the door, and then this follows the contour, the outside of the van, and then this little slot here is for the metal of the door right here. So it just slips down inside there and stands up pretty much by itself. I did space them according to how big my compartments were. So here I have foil, plastic wrap, and parchment paper, and then here are small baggies, Ziploc bags, and then here are large Ziploc bags, the gallon size, and then this last little compartment over here is for plastic bags, for grocery bags, so we just use those for trash. And then I have another end piece down here. I printed out these, they're L-shaped, so it just goes around the plywood right here, just goes around that. And these secure into the plywood. I originally tried click lock on these, but they just would not hold. As soon as there was like any kind of rattling, the tape would come disconnected. It doesn't like sticking to plywood. The top part here is another L channel, and I have little square adapters that connect to the metal of the van using the click lock tape. That actually works pretty well. This seam right here where these are joined, it's just because my printer is not large enough. The base is not large enough to print that whole thing. I could do it if it were this way and I printed up, but I like this finish on here. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's like a hammered kind of finish, so I wanted to print them face down. So I just made two parts with a rabbet connection between them, drilled a hole through it, and then just used little tiny screws to hold it in there. I tried making a ridge here, and it does work, but it's not, the issue with the plastic wrap is that it tends to go back inside there. Like right now you can see it's inside, so you wind up having to take this whole thing off in order to get them out of there. So we're just going to leave them hanging out, and then the way that these are connected is just click lock tape. So here you can take these out of here. Here you can see the wood piece that's following the contour of the van. Up here I have a brace up here and down here that keeps them at the right distance, and those are pocket hold into the other board there, and that's plenty strong. I have click lock on here and on here, and so these I put a little bit of super glue behind it and then stuck it on there, and that holds really well to the wood. On the back of each plastic compartment I have more click lock on each end, and you can when you push this back in, you can hear a really good click. And then on these plastic bags, the hole, these tended to like just come flying out with the hole that big, but I wanted it big enough to where you could reach your hands in there. So I put little eyelets that I got off of Amazon. It's a bag of like 100 of the things, and they were pretty cheap. And then I just took some elastic cord, and I got a whole, again really cheap, a whole roll of it from Amazon. And then I just did like a cross pattern like that, and then back to the original eyelet. And so when you put them in, you just put your material in, put the the compartment in front of it, and then just give it a little push until you can hear that click. There, that's good and strong in there, and it takes quite a bit of force to get it off of there. Yeah, so that was my solution for the door. I did have some issues here where I tried putting super glue on, and once it gets in there, it's almost impossible to get out of there. But it looks pretty good. Wife likes it, and it's near her cook area so that she can access all of this stuff really easily.